Welcome to Weddings Unveiled, the podcast designed to help you build a productive, profitable wedding or event business. Here's your host, Angela Profit.
Hi, y'all. It's Angela Profit, your event and productivity therapist, coming to you from the heart of Music City in Nashville, Tennessee. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Weddings Unveiled, professional tips and secrets on wedding planning and event design, where we take you behind the scenes of our past experiences in the event industry, what we have learned from them, and how they have made us stronger. This podcast will help you grow a productive and profitable business to launch you into success within the hospitality industry. Today, I'm joined by the best communications and event consultant in the business, Alison Burry.
Hey everybody, thank you so much for having me, Angela. I'm so excited to share some of our past experiences together. We've definitely been through some unique situations over the years. What are we discussing today?
Today, we are talking about schedules, and don't pack too much into one day on the wedding day.
Well, tell us the story. What happened?
Well, we never recommend it to our clients anyway to do a bunch of stuff the morning of the wedding. Typically, we recommend for the wedding party to come in the day before. If the wedding's on a Saturday, come in on Friday and go to the spa and get your clean shaves done and all that stuff, like the day before. Like, don't do it the morning of the wedding. But this particular client, they had a bunch of people coming from out of town, and she wanted to have actually it wasn't her, it was her aunt that wanted to give her a brunch the morning of the wedding. So we had it at the venue. It was a beautiful, beautiful venue. So we had the space, and we asked for an RSVP. We sent out invitations, and I don't know what it is with people in RSVPing, but it's like they just forget, and it's so rude. But anyway, the morning of the brunch, which was the morning of the wedding, we had way more people show up that had RSVP'd. So, of course, we ran out of chairs, we ran out of food, and the caterer that we use all the time, I mean, they're always over-prepared for more people, but they actually had to go back to their restaurant and get more food, which they just did it. They didn't even tell me or ask me or anything. They just took care of it. But they were also supposed to be setting up with me for the reception, so they had to bring in more people to help. So there's just all this stuff behind the scenes that people don't understand, that if the RSVPs are off and more people come, yes, we can handle it, but things don't flow smoothly. So that was one thing. And the morning was just so rushed with the brunch. And then after the brunch, we had the hair and makeup artist coming to the venue, which we, again, always recommend. But their mother the bride's mom wanted to go and get her own hair and makeup done somewhere else, and the person would not come to the venue. So what happens? The mom goes and gets her hair done. While she's getting her hair and makeup done, she accidentally left her car running the entire 2.5 hours. So the car runs out of gas, and she leaves it there and then takes an Uber to the wedding and is like pretty much almost late to her own daughter's wedding. And this family, like, they're hilarious. Like, I worked with them years ago when I did her other sister's wedding. And so they're fun and super laid back. And so if we started a little bit late, it wasn't going to be the end of the world, they thought. But from a customer service perspective, when it's a seated dinner and depending on what kind of meat we're having, like, I'm just thinking of the food drying out the whole time. So as soon as the mom got there, we started, and they had a great time. But all these little things that just kept happening in the background that really could have been avoided had we had pressed harder to get the RSVPs in, and then if the mom's makeup and hair artist would have come to the venue. So that's one of the reasons we're really adamant about that now, because we don't want you running around town worrying about traffic. What if you got in a wreck? Like, there's so many variables. And the last little fun tidbit, Allison, if you want to share your cake experience with the sequins with everyone.
Well, this was very interesting. So this bride had a lot of sequins and glitter at her wedding.
It was pretty. So pretty. It was tasteful.
Yes, very tasteful, very sparkly. And so her cake table linen was a silver sequin tablecloth. I mean, it was completely silver sequins. It was beautiful. And the cake that went on the cake table was silver glitter. And so the baker, when he dropped off the cake, there was a few spots that he wanted to like re-glitter while it was on the table, because when you transport that stuff, it falls off. So he wanted to do it, like on the table in the spot, which was great. And so he glittered it. And then when we were doing loadout at the end of the night, I was taking off all the linens off all the tables, and I went to get the linen that the cake was sitting on, and I picked it up from like the opposite side of the table and pulled it off towards myself, and ended up having a face and a mouthful of glitter, because when the baker had glittered it on the linen, there was so much glitter that fell off the cake and all over the linen, but you couldn't see it because the linen was also sequin. I mean, I'm not kidding. It was like a gallon of glitter that I inhaled it. Like, I was coughing it and sneezing it out for a couple days after the wedding. Like, it was my face. I looked like the Tin Man. I had so much silver glitter all over me. And the rest of the night we were loading out, and all the guys thought they were so funny. They were like, "Did you know that you have some glitter on your face?" And I was like, "Yeah, no kidding." I mean, it was in my eyes. It was crazy. So I definitely learned to never pull a linen towards yourself again, because you never know what's on it that could go in your face. But Angela, what would you say that your biggest takeaway was from everything that happened at that wedding?
I would say my biggest takeaway is just to make sure that all the VIPs, such as the wedding party and the parents and the bride and groom, get to the venue several hours early, and they have to stay. Like, they cannot leave. Like, the customer service needs to be brought to them. They should not have to go out for hair and makeup. And then again, just going back to the scheduling, it just would have been so much more fun, I feel like, if the brunch had been the day before. I mean, again, logistically, I understand that not everyone could have been there, or maybe just we could have done the wedding just a little bit later so that they would have had more time to get ready. So really think about the big picture whenever you're doing a timeline and working through the schedule for a wedding weekend.
Great. Well, Angela, can you share with our listeners some of the different products and resources you have available to help wedding and event planners?
Absolutely. You can visit the blog on the website, and there's lots of great articles and resources available there, which it's angelaprofit.com. You can sign up for tips and resources and be part of our email list. We'll send you all kinds of juicy details. We do webinars and live events, so watch social media for more about that.
Awesome. Well, Angela, thank you so much for sharing your valuable advice with us today. I can't wait for next week to tell more of our incredible experiences together.
And thank you, Alison, so much for joining me. And thank you so much to our listeners for joining us today on Weddings Unveiled, professional tips and secrets on wedding planning and event design. Tune in next week to learn more from our past experiences. If you found this podcast helpful, please share it with other wedding and event professionals. Be sure to subscribe today so you never, ever miss the juicy details of Weddings Unveiled. I'm so passionate about helping other event professionals, and with my background in psychology, I appreciate that our best selves develop from real-life situations. Thank you so much for listening. Be sure to tune in next week for more tips on how to grow your business. And if you have a question or an unresolved issue that you want guidance on, connect with us on angelaprofit.com. For more valuable resources, again, visit the website. And until next time, remember to stay productive and profitable.
You've been listening to Weddings Unveiled with Angela Profit. Join us next time for more insights to help you build a productive, profitable wedding or event business. For more great resources, head over to angelaprofit.com.